A scatter graph is used to represent two sets of data to see if there is a correlation or connection. For example, I could use the number of umbrellas sold and the amount of rainy days there are in any one month. I could easily use the value of a car against the age of a car, or maybe the height of a child against the age of a child. First, I will demonstrate how to draw a scatter graph by using this table here. I have the data of the number of rainy days in a month and the number of umbrellas sold. Along the x-axis, I'm going to plot the number of rainy days, and on the y-axis, the number of umbrellas sold, like so. The first pair of numbers is 9 rainy days in a month and 9 umbrellas sold. So along the x-axis to 9, up the y-axis to 9, and there's my first cross plotted. My second pair of numbers is 5 rainy days and 6 umbrellas sold. So along the bottom, 5 rainy days, up to 6, there's my second plot. 6 against 4, 6 against 4. And I will continue to plot these crosses until all of this data here is represented on the graph here. Now my scatter graph is finished. You can see the majority of the crosses are down in this portion of the graph here, forming a pattern. This cross here would be considered an outlier because more umbrellas have been sold on fewer rainy days in one month. You may be asked to identify an outlier by giving its coordinates, and the coordinates of this cross here are 1, 9. You could be asked why that is an outlier, and the fact that it doesn't fall into the general pattern could have been an error in recording. But there could have been a genuine reason for this piece of data to come out. It could be that there were maybe more snowy days rather than rain, or that this represents a month where people were maybe buying gifts, say at Christmas. The rest of these crosses form a strong pattern going from the bottom left up to the top right. This is what we would call a positive correlation. Sometimes we think of it as going in the same direction as the back of a tick being positive. If the crosses were coming from the top left and going down to the bottom right, that is what we would call a negative correlation. I'm now going to draw the line of best fit. You might not be asked for a line of best fit in your question, but you always need to draw one. Now, this isn't an exact science. You place your ruler so that it's representative of all the crosses. You don't need to actually go through any of the crosses, but you want to see approximately the same number of crosses below your ruler or below the line as above. And that to me looks like a pretty good line of best fit. So I'll place my ruler here and I'll draw my line. It's a line that goes through just the data you've been given. It's not extended beyond the last piece of data here, see. To use a line of best fit, you might be asked to estimate the number of umbrellas sold in a month with 8 rainy days. So to do that, you would find 8 rainy days along the x-axis here, draw a line up to your line of best fit, turn your ruler round so that that point can now be traced back out to the y-axis, and that indicates 7 umbrellas sold on 8 rainy days. Now go to your workbook where you'll find some questions on scattergraphs for you to complete yourself. And remember, always draw a line of best fit.